What is going on, guys? Alex here and welcome back to the hobby. I'm back with yet another Akko and TTC switch, but this time let's take a look and listen to the princess switches. This is another linear switch, and the only difference between these and the demon switches would only be the actuation force. These are lighter, and the princess switches comes in with a 45 gram actuation force and a 53.5 gram bottom out force. The switches were sponsored, but of course it was honestly reviewed by me, and all of Akko's link would be on the description down below. In this video, I will have a stock versus lube comparison with the demon switches, and also I have a comparison with and without the condenser. If you want to hear my thoughts and opinion about the switch, please do stick around at the end of the sound test. I am still using the GMMK Pro with an alu plate, PCB2 plate film, and no case film. I'm also using a Geek Arc PBT keycaps, and the switches was lubed with a 205 grade 0 and 105 for the spring lube. So with that out of the way, please do enjoy the sound tests. So that was the sound test for the Princess switches. Let me know what you think about them on the comment section down below. Do you think they sound better without the condenser, or I just need to use a different keycap for this? And I'll also try and see if I can get my hands on the ASR profile that Akko has, and maybe do a sound test using them instead. Before we actually talk about my thoughts and opinion, you already know the drill. Let's break down the materials that was used on the switch. Again, these are a 3-pin switch. The bottom housing is made out of nylon. The top housing is made out of polycarbonate. Of course, the one and only palm for the stem. And lastly, the spring, which comes in at 53.5 gram actuation force. And please do keep in mind, these came in pre-factory lube. And also, let's appreciate how good the shade of pink that was used on the switch. So finally, it's time to talk about my thoughts and opinion on the Princess switch. But let me guys give you a quick disclaimer first. The sound and experience may vary depending on your keyboard build. Again, I'm using the GMMK Pro with an alu plate, PCB to plate foam, and no case foam. I was also using the Geek Arc PBT keycaps, and the switches was lubed with a Krydox 205 grade 0 and 105 grade 0 for the spring. So my thoughts on the feel, well, for the first time, it felt really nice typing on a light switch. And as mentioned in my previous videos, I'm not really a fan of light switches, but I don't know, maybe I got used to it by trying a lot of light switches from Akko. I personally like how these feel over the Demon switches, and based on my experience, the Demon felt more sluggish for me and these felt more smoother, maybe because of the light actuation force. And on stock, they feel nice as well, but of course lube your switches if you can. And as mentioned on the Demon switches, you can actually feel the condenser hitting the keycaps due to the interference with the chair profile. Now, my thoughts on the sound, well, there's really nothing worth noting about it. I find this more clacky and it has more pop than the Demon switches, maybe because I type faster because of the light bottom out force or the actuation force. And like the Demon switches, there are no spring and lift ping, which is really good. I still think that they will sound a little bit better if I'm not using a cherry profile keycap, because in person, you can actually quite hear the cherry profile interfering with the condenser. So overall, I prefer this over the Demon switches. You just have to keep in mind that they are a bit too light to type on, so if you are planning to pick them up, please do base it on your preference. In all honesty, the Demon switches and the Princess switches, they are a really decent switch. They sound and feel good, and it really gets the job done in terms of enhancing your RGB. But again, I still stand by to my opinion that the price is a bit high, and I can't really recommend them for those who are looking for a new linear switch, and especially those who uses chair profile keycaps on a daily due to the interference. Again, at the end of the day, it will still boil down to your preference, so if you really like or really want a switch that will improve your RGB lighting, then yes, this really works. Just keep in mind about the price and the interference. And that is it for the video, guys. That concludes the Demon Prince. That concludes the Demon and Princess switch review arc, and I hope you enjoyed and liked the review for those two switches. I will also try to cover the new Akko CS switches that they had released, and maybe try to get a hold of the ASA profile, and maybe do another sound test using those keycap profile. I'll also like to shout out my good friend Zanyard for lending me this GMMK Pro. He streams keyboard contents on Twitch, so be sure to check him out. And also, of course, thank you Akko for sending over the switches. I really had fun trying them out. So if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to tap the like button. It really helps out my channel grow. And let's try to aim for another 50 likes on this video. I do have a special video on my next upload, and I'm so excited for you guys to see. So check out our community tab as I will post some updates for it. So feel free to share the video, guys, if you enjoyed, and make sure to subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys on the next sound test. Peace.